Everyone who walked into Miller's diner thought the quiet twin waitresses were just two shy small-town girls. But the day a group of bullies tried humiliating them in front of a packed lunch crowd, the entire place learned the truth. These twins weren't fragile. They weren't scared. They were controlled storms waiting to be unleashed. And when pushed too far, they didn't just defend themselves, they made the bullies wish they'd never been born. Before we begin, if you love your mom and dad, hit that subscribe button and show some love to her. The lunch rush was just starting at Miller's Diner, a little off-highway spot tucked between truck stops and quiet farmland. Most people came for the burgers, but they always stayed for the twins, Emma and Lily Hart. Matching brown ponytails, soft voices, polite smiles. They moved in perfect sync, gliding between tables like shadows of each other. To anyone watching, they looked like two gentle souls trying to make a simple living in a small American town. No one knew a storm lived inside them. No one knew they had once worn tactical gear instead of aprons. No one knew their silence wasn't weakness, it was discipline forged through fire. That afternoon, the bell above the entrance jingled and four guys swaggered in. Local troublemakers who drove loud trucks and acted louder. They spotted the twins instantly, exchanged smirks, and slid into a booth. These guys lived for attention, and quiet people like Emma and Lily were their favorite targets. Emma approached with her notepad. "Welcome to Miller's. What can I get you?" Her voice was soft, calm, almost timid. The ringleader, Chase, leaned back and eyed her up and down. "You talk always that quiet, sweetheart? Didn't your mama teach you to speak up?" His buddies laughed. Emma kept her composure. "What can I get you to drink?" Chase drummed his fingers on the table. "How about your number?" Lily appeared beside her sister, equally calm. "Sir, we can take your order when you're ready." "Oh, look," Chase mocked. "The other one talks too." He reached out as if to pull a strand of Lily's hair. Before his fingers got close, Emma stepped between them, subtle but firm. Chase blinked. He hadn't even seen her move. Annoyed, he ordered, "Fine, 4 coffees, and make it fast." The twins left without another word, but the guys weren't done. They whispered dirty jokes loudly, snapped their fingers like the twins were dogs, and laughed every time one walked by. The other customers grew uncomfortable, but no one wanted to get involved. The twins stayed silent, eyes lowered, steps controlled. That only encouraged the bullies. When Emma returned with their drinks, Chase accidentally stuck his foot out, causing her to stumble. The tray wobbled but didn't fall. Her reflexes were too sharp, too trained. Chase noticed. "Wow," he smirked. "Good balance." Didn't know waitressing was an Olympic sport. Then he whispered just loud enough for the diner to hear, "Bet you're real flexible too." Lily's jaw tensed. That was the first visible crack in their calm. They delivered the food, endured the comments, and tried to move on. But Chase decided he needed a grand finale. When Emma passed by again, he grabbed her wrist, hard. The entire diner froze. "Come on, smile for me," Chase said. "Don't be so uptight." Emma didn't pull away. She didn't panic. She simply looked him dead in the eyes. And something in that stare made Chase hesitate. It wasn't fear. It wasn't anger. It was calculation. Lily placed her tray down and stepped forward. "Let go of her," she said, still soft-spoken. "Or what?" Chase sneered. "You two gonna cry?" What happened next took less than 3 seconds. Emma twisted her wrist, not away from his grip but deeper into it, using his own hold to torque his arm. Chase yelped as she flipped him onto his back with a clean, fluid Aikido motion. The diner gasped. His buddies stood up in confusion, but Lily was already in motion. One guy lunged toward Emma. Lily sidestepped, swept his leg, and pinned him to the floor with a knee between his shoulder blades. Another swung at her clumsily. She blocked, twisted his arm behind his back, and shoved him into a booth. The last one tried to grab Emma from behind, but she ducked, spun and tapped a nerve point on his neck. He dropped like a rag doll. It was over before half the people in the diner understood what happened. Chase groaned on the floor. "What the hell? Who are you?" Emma brushed her apron off. "Breakfast and lunch shift," she said plainly. Lily added, "And former Naval Special Warfare Combatant Craft Crewman." The diner went silent. One old trucker whispered, "They're Navy SEALs." Technically, they were part of the SEAL program's Specialized Support Branch, trained in combat, extraction, and tactics. But to a diner full of people, that distinction didn't matter. What mattered was that these quiet waitresses had just dismantled 4 grown men without breaking a sweat. The bullies scrambled to their feet, faces red, pride shattered. Chase tried to talk tough again, but the sheriff, who had seen everything, walked in at that exact moment. A waitress had already called him. "You boys want to explain why half the diner watched you get your butts handed to you by 2 women half your size?" he asked. They didn't say a word. The sheriff clapped Emma and Lily on the shoulders. "Heard you 2 came back home after your service. Glad to see you're keeping the peace." The twins gave polite smiles. "Just doing our job," Emma said. But the sheriff shook his head. "No, you did a lot more than that. Folks like you remind this town what strength really looks like." Word spread fast. By the next morning, people weren't coming to Miller's just for the burgers. They were coming to see the quiet twins who took down 4 bullies like it was nothing. But Emma and Lily didn't want attention. They didn't want praise. They just wanted peace. And because they handled violence with discipline instead of rage, they taught the entire town something important. The quietest people often carry the loudest courage. Now, let me ask you, Frotrotin is one inte wasiasti. From which part of the country are you watching this video? For the next few days after the diner incident, Miller's Diner felt different. Customers whispered, smiled, and treated Emma and Lily Hart with a new level of respect. But the twins didn't want praise. They wanted quiet. They wanted normal. They wanted the life their service had never given them. The problem? Karma may have ended the bullying inside the diner, but outside, trouble was gathering like a storm cloud. Chase and his boys, bruised, humiliated, and too embarrassed to show their faces in town, weren't done. Their pride had been shattered on the diner floor, and men like them lived off ego. They wanted revenge. They wanted to get even. And worse, they wanted to make the twins pay publicly. One night, as the twins locked up the diner, Lily noticed a truck sitting across the street with its headlights off. A dark silhouette in the driver's seat. When she looked directly at it, the engine revved and sped off. Emma frowned. "Someone's watching us." Lily nodded. "Let them. They won't like what happens if they come closer." The next morning, while preparing for the breakfast rush, Sheriff Dalton stepped inside. He looked uneasy. "Girls," he said quietly, "I need to warn you. Chase and his buddies filed a complaint, accusing you 2 of using excessive force." Emma raised an eyebrow. "We defended ourselves." "I know that," the sheriff replied. "And everyone in the diner that day knows it too. But Chase's uncle? He's on the county board, which means this thing might get political." Lily placed the coffee pot down a little too hard. "So they bully us. We defend ourselves, and somehow we're the problem?" Dalton sighed. "Welcome back to civilian life. The rules are different here." "But so we are." The twins exchanged a look, one that carried years of unspoken communication. But they didn't argue. They didn't complain. They simply nodded and returned to work. But the world had other plans. At 11:32 a.m., the diner was full. Families at booths, truckers at the counter, elderly couples sharing pancakes. It felt peaceful, normal. Then the bell above the door rang. Chase entered with 7 new guys. Bigger, older, rougher. Not local troublemakers this time. These were bikers. Leather jackets, tattoos, heavy boots that echoed across the diner floor. One had brass knuckles hanging from his belt. Another carried a chain. Chase's bruised jaw twitched with anger. Well, if it isn't the heroes of breakfast shift, he sneered. Thought you could embarrass me in front of everyone, huh? Emma stepped forward calmly. You need to leave. Chase laughed. We'll leave when we're done. The bikers spread out, blocking exits. Surrounding booths, customers froze. Lily's hand subtly touched her apron. She kept a small tactical pen there. Not a weapon. But in her hands, anything could be won. Emma took a slow breath, analyzing escape routes, angles, numbers. They were outnumbered, outsized, outgunned. Good. They had been here before. In jungles at night, in deserts where the sun killed faster than bullets, in situations where the only advantage they had was training sharper than fear. But before they moved, something unexpected happened. A motorcycle rumbled outside, then another, and another. The sound grew louder, like thunder rolling in from the highway. The door swung open. A woman, tall, fierce, dressed in black leather, walked in, her helmet under her arm, a scar running across her cheek like a warning. She scanned the room, locked eyes with Emma, and then Lily. The twins recognized her instantly. So did Chase. Because she was no ordinary bike, she was Commander Rhea Maddox, one of the most feared female SEAL team leaders the U.S. Navy had ever produced. Their old commanding officer, their mentor, their ghost. Chase swallowed nervously. Who the hell is she? Rhea walked right past him, never breaking stride. She reached the twins and gave a tiny smirk. Heard you two were causing trouble without me. Emma's eyes softened. Ma'am, what are you doing here? Came through town, Rhea said casually. Heard a couple of idiots were trying to sue two of my best operators. Figured I'd stop in before things got messy. Chase stepped forward, trying to act tough. Lady, this isn't your business. Rhea turned slowly. Son, everything in this room is my business. Chase's buddies shifted uneasily. A few backed away. One of the bikers whispered, Bro, that's Rhea Maddox. The one from the Kabul extraction mission? Another muttered, No way. She's the one who... But Chase wasn't done being stupid. Look, I brought backup. You think we're scared of one woman? Rhea cracked her knuckles. No, I think you should be scared of all three. Emma stepped to Rhea's right. Lily stepped to her left. 3 women against 8 men. Someone at the counter whispered, Holy hell. This is about to get bad. And it did. Fast. A biker swung a chain toward Lily. She ducked under it, grabbed his wrist, twisted, and sent him crashing through a booth. Emma blocked a punch, flipped her attacker over her hip, and dropped him flat. Rhea grabbed Chase by his shirt, slammed him against the wall, and said in a low voice, You have 3 seconds to rethink your life. Another biker charged her. She kicked him square in the chest, sending him flying into the pie display. The fight was fast, brutal, and surgical. Coffee spilled, plates shattered. Customers hid behind tables, but not a single innocent person got touched. When the last biker hit the floor groaning, Chase tried running out the door, only to find the sheriff waiting outside. Dalton stared at the chaos behind the twins, then at Chase. You really don't learn, do you? Chase stuttered. They attacked us. The sheriff smirked. Son, half the diner recorded what happened. Sit down. Rhea placed a hand on Emma's shoulder. Still move like a seal? Lily smiled. You trained us well. Rhea nodded once. The world may be changing, but scumbags like this, they never do. Good thing you're here. And just like that, she left. Without applause, without thanks, like a ghost passing through. Emma and Lily cleaned up the diner in silence. The customers helped. People thanked them, hugged them, praised them. But the twins didn't smile. They didn't brag. They simply returned to work. Because some warriors don't fight for glory. They fight because someone has to. And in that small diner, the quietest heroes had the loudest courage. Now tell me, from which part of the country are you watching this video?